That white crust strangling your showerhead is calcium carbonate. It is a deposit an 8th century chemist named Jabir ibn Hayyan learned to dissolve with a simple acid over 1200 years ago. A $3 mix still eliminates it today. The cleaning industry knows this. They charge 10 times more for the same reaction. This isn't a hack, it's buried chemistry, and the reason it stayed buried is the real story. In the dusty libraries of Baghdad, Jabir ibn Hayyan set down recipes that would echo through centuries. In his Book of Stones, he describes soaking iron tools in strong vinegar for days to strip away rust, a method as practical as it was ingenious. Jabir did not just use vinegar, he classified it, distinguishing sharp from mild varieties based on fermentation, and insisted on precise soaking times to restore metals' shine. His approach was not guesswork. He documented every step, turning kitchen chemistry into a methodical art. These manuscripts, copied and translated across the Mediterranean, became a foundation for later European alchemists who cited Jabir's vinegar baths as standard practice. But the story does not begin in the medieval Islamic world. Centuries earlier, Roman soldiers carried diluted wine vinegar on their marches. Pliny the Elder wrote of legionaries scrubbing armor and weapons with acetic solutions to keep bronze bright and corrosion at bay. Vegetius, another Roman author, advised a vinegar wash before every campaign. Archaeologists now confirm these habits. Bronze fittings from Caesarea Maritima bear acetate residues, a silent record of ancient pickling baths. Even the helmets of Rome's Legio X show traces of organic acids, evidence that these cleaning rituals left their mark not just in text, but on the very metal itself. Across empires and centuries, the chemistry remained the same. Weak acids drawn from kitchen and cellar dissolved scale and rust long before anyone spoke of molecules or pH. The lineage runs unbroken, from Roman vinegar jars to Jabir's careful protocols and onward to modern bottles on store shelves. What was once common knowledge became specialized, then branded, and finally hidden in plain sight. The next step is to unravel exactly how these ancient acids break down hard water scale, turning crust back into clarity. Hard water leaves its mark through chemistry as much as through time. Every chalky ring or crusty faucet traces back to dissolved minerals, mostly calcium and magnesium, that flow invisibly through municipal and well supplies. These ions, measured in parts per million as calcium carbonate, become a problem when water heats or evaporates. At that point, the saturation index tips above zero, and the water can no longer hold all those minerals. They settle out, forming stubborn deposits on every surface they touch. Scale is not uniform. Calcium carbonate, the most common offender, crystallizes as either calcite or aragonite, while magnesium can form its own carbonates or even magnesium hydroxide, especially in alkaline conditions. The result is a layered, tenacious buildup that resists ordinary scrubbing. The molecular trigger is simple. As water loses carbon dioxide, for example in a boiling kettle, carbonate ions pair up with calcium or magnesium, and the solid falls out of solution. Acids cut through this crust by changing the chemistry at the surface. Acetic acid, the main ingredient in vinegar, donates protons that react with carbonate to release carbon dioxide gas and dissolve the mineral. Citric acid, found in citrus fruits and sold as a powder, goes a step further. It not only provides protons but also acts as a chelating agent, binding to calcium and magnesium ions with high stability, log beta values around 2.9 for calcium and 3.0 for magnesium. This double action speeds up dissolution and keeps the freed minerals in solution, reducing the chance they will redeposit downstream. A 0.2 molar solution of citric acid can strip most household scale in under 15 minutes at room temperature, while standard white vinegar takes longer and may leave behind some residue. The difference is visible at the microscopic level. After citric acid treatment, scanning electron microscopy shows nearly complete removal of calcite crystals, while vinegar often leaves magnesium-rich patches behind. As one chemist puts it, citric acid does not just dissolve scale, it locks it away. Understanding these reactions is not just academic, it explains why the $3 mix is more than a folk remedy. The synergy between chelation and acidification gives it a scientific edge, bridging ancient recipes with modern results. Walk down any cleaning aisle and the story is written in bold colors and confident claims. Bottles promising to dissolve limescale or restore shine sit at eye level, priced anywhere from $8 to $15 for a few hundred milliliters. The main ingredients are citric acid or vinegar, chemicals that cost pennies per use when bought in bulk. A closer look at the label reveals little difference between a $12 pro-grade descaler and a $1.50 packet of food-grade citric acid. Yet the packaging, the scent, and the word professional trigger a willingness to pay several times more than the raw chemistry demands. A market analyst breaks down the numbers. The active acid in a branded descaler bottle typically costs less than 50 cents. The rest is packaging, marketing, and the illusion of specialized science. In fact, a 2024 retail survey found that the markup on branded descalers ranges from 150 to 300% over the cost of basic ingredients. Add in the recurring cycle, products sized for single use, with instructions that recommend repeating every few weeks, and the profits multiply. Behind the shelf, service calls and appliance replacements drive even bigger incentives. Plumbing and appliance firms report that scale removal and related repairs make up about 12% of annual revenue, with each visit averaging $120 to $180. Water softener installations, often sold as the ultimate fix, run into the thousands, all justified by the threat of hard water damage. Consumer Reports notes a 5 to 7% bump in appliance failure rates in hard water regions, turning minor buildup into a steady stream of replacement sales. The industry's logic is simple: keep the problem visible, the solution convenient, and the chemistry hidden behind a brand. The result is a market where common knowledge is rebranded as proprietary and a fix that costs less than a cup of coffee is sold as a premium service. The next step is to see what happens when that chemistry is brought back into the open. A homeowner stands in the middle of a tiled bathroom, measuring out the ingredients for a mix that costs less than $3. The process starts with 100 grams of food-grade citric acid poured into a clean plastic jug. Next comes 250 milliliters of white vinegar, standard 5% acetic acid, followed by 650 milliliters of warm tap water. Stir until the powder dissolves completely. The solution turns slightly cloudy, signaling it is ready. For most fixtures, showerheads, faucets, and kettle interiors, the method is straightforward. Remove any detachable parts and soak them in the solution for 5 to 10 minutes. For heavier buildup, extend the soak to 30 minutes or use a soft brush to loosen stubborn patches. Keep the room ventilated. Open a window or switch on an exhaust fan, as acetic vapors can irritate the nose and eyes. Always wear gloves and, if splashing is likely, protective eyewear. Acid solutions at this strength are not dangerous, but they can sting cuts or sensitive skin. Some surfaces are off limits. Never use this mix on natural stone, marble, travertine, or limestone, as even weak acids can etch and permanently dull these materials. Avoid aluminum and uncoated polished chrome, which may discolor. For sealed grout, test a small area first. After treatment, rinse every surface thoroughly with clean water to remove any residual acid and dissolved minerals. The entire batch costs less than $3 and is enough for several cleaning cycles. The recipe is simple, but the results, when done with care, can rival or surpass store-bought products. With the right precautions, anyone can reclaim fixtures from years of scale using chemistry that is trusted for centuries. When scale refuses to budge with a standard soak, it's time to step up the approach, carefully. For fixtures that can handle it, heating the descaling solution to between 40 and 50 degrees Celsius speeds the reaction, dissolving stubborn buildup in as little as 10 minutes. Plumbers recommend circulating the warm mix through appliances like kettles or washing machines for up to half an hour, but never exceeding an hour to avoid damaging seals or sensitive parts. If heavy crust remains, an overnight soak is the upper limit. Seal the part in a bag with the solution and check in the morning. After any extended treatment, always neutralize the spent acid before disposal. Add a pinch of baking soda until bubbling stops and the pH rises above 6. This step protects both pipes and the environment. For anything beyond these boundaries, such as scale inside closed plumbing or on materials not listed as safe, consult a professional. Escalation has its limits, and safety comes first. Lab comparisons put the numbers in focus. In a controlled test, a 0.2 molar citric acid solution stripped more than 80% of scale mass from a standard fixture in just 10 minutes. White vinegar, under the same conditions, removed about 55%. Commercial descalers performed similarly to citric acid, but at a cost of $2 to $3 per use, while the homemade mix came in at less than 30 cents per application. Consumer surveys show that branded products are priced at a 150 to 300% markup over the raw chemicals. Yet even with high removal rates, no acid treatment, whether do-it-yourself or commercial, can stop scale from returning if hard water keeps flowing. Published studies confirm that in untreated systems, visible deposits often reappear within days. The chemistry is effective, but claims of permanent removal do not stand up in the literature. The real difference is cost, convenience, and how often you are willing to repeat the process. Simple chemistry still undercuts industry hype. As branded cleaners multiply, the most effective answers remain hidden in plain sight, affordable, ancient, and proven. The real question: who profits when we forget? Challenge what is on your shelf, question the label, and join us for the next investigation.